What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out already, just making bad life choices. Going over to Scores and Odds and get signed up where you got picks from me, Meansy, Dino, all the greats. Plus, you get access to the nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what we project and where the best odds are for each individual prop. And most importantly, you go over to Scores and Odds.com/Discord. Just dropping it in the chat right now. You get access to Grant's Action Lounge where I'm throwing in every single one of my bets as I bet them every single day. So you can get in before the lines change. We've been crushing it so far this month. Up, have a 15% ROI, up 3K off of just 18.5 G's bet. Yeah, back from my honeymoon, just started crushing it. We got a decent amount of bets today. Not a ton of home run bets, but we have a decent amount of other ones. Not a ton of money on the line because Bet Rivers and TK won't let me get any money down on pretty much anything. But we'll get it done. It's that simple there. Start off with the home run bets. Only got 3 of them today. Shohei Ohtani plus 575. Guy can hit very, very well. For some reason, they always seem to up his odds whenever he's on the mound. I don't know why. I don't understand, but I'm taking advantage of it. He's actually hit a home run a few times while he's been on the mound. But Castillo, a lot worse versus lefties than versus righties. Lower K rate, more line drives, more fly balls, much more hard contact. So Ohtani at 575 is just a ridiculous bet. Vladimir Guerrero plus 420. He's going up against Brett, and you can get that over Bet Rivers, Barstool, TwinSpire, whichever one you have in your respective state. They're all the same odds, but Vlad, very good at baseball. Huge hard contact rate. Not a huge fly ball guy, but Bradish, lots and lots and lots of hard contact, line drives, fly balls, giving up a massive 248 ISO. The guy's probably due for some positive regression, but the hard contact numbers are just huge, just absolutely massive. Don't know why. Maybe he's tipping pitches versus righties. I don't know. Looking at his pitch mix, it makes sense that he would be giving up a lot more hard contact to righties with the slider fastball combination. But overall, 420 is just far too high of a line. Next up, not a big line, but I don't care. Rhys Hoskins plus 220 is why I got it. You can get it at plus 230 right now to hit a home run. Really low line, but Hoskins numbers versus lefties. 296 ISO, 418 WOBA. Massive 52% fly ball rate, close to a 50% hard contact rate. And Minor has been absolute garbage. Just terrible, awful this year versus righties. 56.9% fly ball rate, 43.4% hard contact rate, 322 ISO, 213 hit distance. They're playing over in Cincinnati, which is not going to help Minor. It's going to greatly help Hoskins. I hate the odds, but I love the bet enough where I still ended up betting it. Next up, Yusei Kikuchi plus 173 to go over 15.5 outs. He hasn't been doing this much at all lately, but he's going up against Baltimore. Baltimore is not a very good hitting team versus lefties. Projected lineup 165 ISO, 309 WOBA, 26% K rate. Doesn't walk a ton. Kikuchi, while being bad versus righties so far this season, not a ton of power. Rutzman has more power from the left side of the plate than the right side of the plate. Santander is decent, but everyone else has struggled greatly versus lefties so far this season. Kikuchi, while he may have a decent leash, if he's cruising, he can get going past 5 innings. And I love the 173 odds. Just absolutely fantastic over at Caesars. It's the odds that I'm loving. Alex Cobb over 4.5 strikeouts. You can get it minus 141 over at Bet Rivers. I know it's a decent amount of juice, but the odds are just too good here. Cobb sitting at a 25% K rate on the season. While he does strike out lefties a lot, lefties is going to play a ton of lefties, and he has had bad outings. His numbers versus any opponent recently have been very solid. He's averaging 7 strikeouts over the last 5 outings, 7, 8, 11, 6, 5, hitting each of the last 5. Strangely enough, the last 2 he didn't hit. We're going up against Arizona. Has not done great against them, but he's a good enough pitcher where even getting minus 141 odds at 4.5, I'm in for it. Few stolen base bets. Starling Marte to steal base plus 800. Guy has a ton of speed. Shohei Ohtani plus 800 to steal base. Both of these over at DraftKings. But the one I'm absolutely loving is against Thor. Jake Fraley plus 1,200. I think it's already moved to plus 1,000. Still love it at those odds. Fraley 11 or 10 stolen bases last year in just 78 games. Guy has a little bit of speed, but the main thing is no, I don't want ad. No ad. Bad ad. Fielding. Let's see. Pitchers. Thor, if you all know, if you've been watching this show, he is the worst, potentially the worst pitcher in MLB history at giving up stolen bases. Just absolutely terrible. Let's see. Fielding, pitchers. Why can't I find this? I'm going to sneeze here. I can't find it right now for some reason. But Thor has given up. Oh, there it is. Stolen bases. Not even qualified right now. Let's see. Minimum 60 innings. Thor, 27 stolen bases in 91 innings. Next closest is Sandy, 17 stolen bases in 166 innings. Thor is almost double every other pitcher in the league that's over 100 innings pitched, and he's only at 91. He's awful at holding on base runners. Jake Fraley, over 0.5 stolen bases, plus 1,200 is absolutely ridiculous odds. Harold Castro, this game's starting in, I think, 45 minutes or so. If he's in the lineup, let's see. Nope, he's not even in the line. Oh, there he is. Yep, he's batting fourth. Let's refresh the page here. There we go. Yep, batting fourth. Not great, but getting pretty good odds against Savali. Plus 155 over at Bet Rivers to get over 1.5 total bases. Castro has the platoon split. Savali, numbers versus lefties and righties, not very good. Has not been great this season. Castro doesn't strike out a ton, which Savali, one thing he can do is strike out lefties at a decent clip. Plus 155 is too high of odds. Kikuchi, while I do love him to go over 15.5 innings, he's probably at least going to go over 15.5 outs, or he's going to go over 4.5 hits allowed. I can almost guarantee one of those is going to happen. Plus 3, unless he gets injured. Plus 130 odds over at DK on over 4.5 hits allowed. Hammer it. Drew Hutchinson, over 2.5 strikeouts, plus 100 over at Superbook. Hutchinson going up against Cleveland. Cleveland's not a huge strikeout team, and he's not going to go that late into the matchup, and he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. But 2.5 at plus 100. Bad odds. Royals money line plus 175. This is one of my favorite bets on the day. Generally don't bet money lines, but this is just too good. If you want to bet them -1, -1.5, -2.5, just make sure to find the best odds. Joe Ryan giving up boatloads of fly balls to both sides of the plate. Hasn't been great versus lefties. Not striking them out a ton does not strike them out at all while giving up massive fly ball numbers. All these guys have power. Melendez, Pasquantino, Prado all have decent power. And they have Isbell, Massey, and Lopez in there. Don't have a ton of power, but Joe Ryan does not strike out lefties. And the righties, Witt, Dozier, Perez, all have a ton of power. Ryan's giving up a boatload of fly balls, boatload of hard contact. So he's probably going to give up a few home runs. I really like the Royals to win. And then Bubic on the other side, going up against a boatload of righties. Probably 7 righties, maybe 8, depending on if Kepler's in there. He's been huge reverse split so far this season. Look at the numbers. 430 WOBA compared to 307. 267 ISO compared to 134. Makes sense. He's a big changeup curveball guy. Those are 2 of the biggest pitches you can have to be reverse splitsy. So he's much better against righties and should continue to be much better versus righties. That's it. That's my bets for the day. Block user. Darn spam. Yeah, that's it. Good luck. I'll be back tomorrow. We're out of here. Later, kids.